Have you ever looked at your recent purchases, then looked at your totally empty wallet and thought, wait a second, did I actually even want that? Or did someone or, something kind of make me want it? Welcome to This Explainer. Today we're looking at something that directly impacts every single one of us, especially if you're a teenager navigating the digital world right now. We're going to decode the exact architecture that the world's biggest companies are actively using against you. And honestly, what we're about to look at is going to fundamentally change how you view literally every single advertisement, every app, and every store you walk into. Because the hard truth is, your spending choices, well, they might not actually be your own.
Okay, let's dive into this because it brings up a really simple yet incredibly uncomfortable question. Who really controls your cash? When you spend your hard-earned money from that part-time job or your allowance, you probably think you're the one in the driver's seat, right? You saw something, you liked it, you bought it. End of story. Well, wrong. What the source material reveals is that the world's biggest companies are secretly fighting to influence your spending habits. There's this massive, invisible tug of war happening literally every single time you look at a screen. And the prize they're fighting for? It's your cash.
Section 1. The Invisible Spending Trap. So we're talking about the architecture of consumer persuasion. Now, I know, that sounds like some incredibly boring academic term you'd hear in a stuffy university lecture, but seriously, don't let the fancy words fool you. Think of this as a leaked corporate playbook. As teenagers, you are the prime demographic. You're the ultimate target. And this is the actual matrix designed by companies to secretly make you spend more money. Notice the specific words used here in our source: calculated systems and subtly influence. This isn't about giant billboards screaming buy now at you. No, this is about an invisible environment built completely around you. It's the layout of an app, the specific way a product is presented. It's the hidden systems working constantly in the background to make sure parting with your money feels like the most natural, totally unavoidable thing in the world. And this brilliantly illustrates the massive disconnect between your reality and corporate reality. Like, while you think you're just chilling, browsing, looking for some entertainment, or seeing what your friends are up to, massive corporations are actively manipulating the environment you're in. They're tracking, predicting, and adjusting the architecture around you to funnel you straight toward a purchase. It's a completely uneven playing field. You're just trying to relax, but they are executing a highly calculated mission to extract your cash.
Section 2. Hidden psychological tricks revealed.
Okay, so here's how they do it. First, they deploy these guarded marketing secrets. Second, they leverage hidden psychological tricks. Things like using fake scarcity to make you panic buy, or designing apps to pull your attention like a giant magnet. And third, all of this is pointed directly at teenagers. But why teens? Well, because your habits are forming right now. If they can bypass your rational thinking with these psychological tricks today, they don't just get your cash this week. They basically secure you as a spender for decades. They're using these covert tactics that prey on human psychology to ensure you feel this urgent, emotional need to buy, which effectively shuts down the logical part of your brain that steps in and asks, wait, can I actually afford this?
Now, what's really interesting about this is the deliberate nature of these words. Hidden psychological tricks, marketing secrets. These aren't just accidental trends or lucky guesses, guys. These are calculated, heavily guarded corporate secrets. Massive companies are spending millions of dollars studying exactly what makes you click, what makes you feel left out, and what gives you that rush of excitement when you buy something. And they keep these strategies hidden for a very good reason. If you, the consumer, actually knew all the psychological tricks they were using against you, well, the tricks would immediately stop working.
Section 3. Billion-dollar marketing strategies.
1 billion. Just take a second and count those zeros. That is exactly what you're up against. We aren't talking about some small local business just trying to sell a few extra t-shirts here. We are talking about billion-dollar strategies deployed by the absolute biggest companies in the world. When you feel bad for spending $20 you shouldn't have, just remember that there is literally a billion-dollar infrastructure on the other side of that screen whose sole purpose was to get that $20 from you. It's a total David and Goliath situation. And Goliath, he has an endless budget to figure out exactly how to influence your spending habits. Let's move to and see how this builds, step by step. Step 1. Deploy hidden tricks. They start small, using those covert psychological pushes we just talked about to grab your attention. Step 2. Influence daily habits. Now this is where it gets super dangerous for teenagers. A one-time trick suddenly becomes a daily routine. Out of nowhere, checking for a specific brand drop or scrolling endlessly through a massive online marketplace is just part of your day. And then, step 3. execute billion-dollar strategies. They take those individual habits and they scale them up across millions of consumers globally, turning your micro-habits into massive corporate profits. It's this perfectly engineered ladder, and they want you climbing it without even realizing you've taken the first step.
Section 4. Defending your own wallet. So, the crucial point is this. We've exposed the playbook, we've looked at the billion-dollar strategies, and now it's time to turn the tables. Recognizing the architecture of consumer persuasion is your ultimate defense, because you don't need $1 billion to fight back against these companies. You literally just need awareness. When you know that this architecture exists, when you know that hidden psychological tricks and marketing secrets are actively trying to subtly influence your habits, the illusion just shatters. You go from being a passive target to an active defender of your own wallet. The moment you recognize the trick, it completely loses its power over you. You regain control of your cash. Which brings us to our final thought. I really want you to carry this question with you every single time you open an app, walk into a store, or see an ad online. Next time you tap buy, who is really making the choice? Is it you? Or is it the architecture of persuasion? Is it a genuine need, or is it a hidden psychological trick at work? Keep your eyes open, defend your wallets, and whatever you do, don't let the billion-dollar companies make your choices for you. Thanks for joining me for this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.